The best show on TV right now is The Last of Us. And I say with all due respect to some great television that's out there right now. We got the new season and final season of Succession coming up. Yellowstone has been a favorite of mine now for a couple of years. Shrinking is actually pretty fantastic. A lot of great stuff on TV. But I think Last of Us has very, very quickly kind of became the crown jewel of what's on television right now. It's just absolutely incredible. But we also don't know when we're getting the second season. And we've only got 2 episodes left. And then an unknown wasteland of how long we got to wait for the next one to start. Or when they're going to start shooting, when we're going to even see it. Could be like the HBO head said, it could be 2025 until we get the next season of Last of Us. The next 9 episodes or whatever have you. Well, we may have just gotten a little bit of an update from Pedro Pascal on the whole thing. Because a lot of people had been speculating that they wouldn't even start shooting, because Pedro's getting busy, that they wouldn't even start shooting this thing until like mid-2024. But according to a question, it could be shooting a lot sooner than that. This comes to us from the folks who are at Screen Rant, who said Pascal did offer some cryptic bit of confirmation that said, when he said this, there is a chance that The Last of Us Season 2 could begin filming later this year, in 2023. Now, he didn't straight up say, I can confirm we start shooting in October or whatever, but he said slyly, there's a chance that we could start shooting this thing in 2023. All right. I don't think he's saying that unless it's actually in a contract somewhere. I don't think he's saying that unless there's already an understanding that that is what we're doing. And I'm going to play the optimist here, Rob. Maybe overly optimistic. But if they can say, for argument's sake, if they can start shooting this thing, let's say October of 2023, so in like 6 months from now, I think there's a chance we get The Last of Us Season 2 before the end of 2024. I think we could get it in 2024. Now, I understand they're going to shoot this thing probably for 6 months, all that kind of stuff. But there is a lot of VFX work, but this is not an Avengers movie. So I'm going to choose to be maybe irrationally optimistic and say, you know what? I think they are going to shoot this thing later this year. I don't think HBO is a company to rush, but a lot of other networks would have already been in production of their next season of a successful show like this. And if they didn't start shooting for another 6 months, they've got the blueprint with The Last of Us 2 game already. I think it is now theoretical. I'm going to hold out some hope that we could actually see season 2 in the 3rd or 4th quarters of 2024. Anyway, Rob, you read Pedro Pascal's comments. Am I being overly optimistic, or do you think it's possible? What do you think? I
don't think so. I mean, judging from how the show, I mean, you look at last episode, yeah, we talked about how they shot in a mall that they had to use VFX to create the second story of. But for the most part, if you think a lot about that, there isn't, they're in real environments. They go shoot in real locations, real places. And I think that there is a possibility that they could absolutely get this going. And I'm sure that Neil Druckmann, and here's the thing, a lot of the time when we hear about TV shows, like the animated series that I worked on for Netflix, Dota, they did not announce seasons 2 or 3 until later on, but we were contracted to make seasons 2 and 3.
Well, didn't you like even complete one of the seasons before you even announced that it was going to be coming?
Yeah. Yep. And that's how animation works, because you have to go because it takes so long to animate. But this is different, and with the success that it's having, I'm sure that HBO, as soon as they started seeing what this show was, I am sure that they made the deals to make more, because they do that. They can tell. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they're trying to figure out how to get schedules together and shoot. So I don't think you're being too optimistic. I mean, I think they would want this show out in a year. And
by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with the story of the games, if you're enjoying The Last of Us Season 1, you ain't seen nothing yet. Season 2, the second game, Last of Us 2, is, in my estimation, the single greatest story ever to come out of a video game. And season 1 or part 1 is right up there too, along with, God of War and things like that. But Last of Us 2 is the single greatest story ever told in a video game. It's the most moving, emotionally resonant, just powerful it's just so good. You ain't seen nothing yet if you're really into season 1. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Do you think there could be a chance, despite the fact that the HBO boss said, hey, it could be 2025? Do you think if they can get shooting this year, that maybe 2024 could be a possibility? Or am I being overly hopeful? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea.